Welcome. Uh-oh, I'm on the wrong channel. Sorry about that, guys. Just wait 1 second. Okay, finally, we had to sit still for that screenshot there. Welcome. How are all of you? Tonight, we are live just in 3 places: YouTube, TikTok, and on Facebook. Those of you, I would like to be going live on Instagram, but I need to get a new phone first in order to do that because the sound isn't coming through. So I actually want to share something with you, something that happened yesterday that was another lesson for me in unconditional love, love of both myself and of others. Go ahead and tell me where you are tuning in from as you come on this live video. Let me know in the comment section if you can hear me and see me clearly. That will help out a lot. So I'm going to light some Palo Santo, a little bit of sage, as I share with you what happened yesterday. It actually happened in person, and how I was affected and how I dealt with it from a stance of unconditional love and maturity and responsibility. And, you know, I like to see everything that happens to us as a lesson, whether it be good, bad, sad, what have you. As a healer, send some of this positive energy to all of you. As a woman in my 40s, as a woman who has been around a plethora of people in her life, both good and bad, I take yesterday's incident as a lesson. I was drawn to bring in smoky quartz before we start. I'm not going to do a reading. I'm going to do an intuitive download after I share with you what happened yesterday. So yesterday I was going into a place that I go into often, and it's, you know, a pretty busy place, people going in and out. It's actually I'm not going to say what it is, but it's just a place people go in and out of a lot, right? Not a grocery store, but it's a place that I go to often. And from the moment I approached the door, let's make sure that you guys can hear me clearly first. Welcome, Bobby. Welcome, Greg. Tell me in the comments. Tell me in the comments where you're tuning in from, okay? It really helps the channel. So as I was approaching this door, I saw the energy of one of the employees. She was just kind of waiting to be not so kind. And I thought to myself, okay, I already am feeling the vibration of unwelcomeness from this person. But as a life path number 9, and as a person whose gene key code is unconditional love, I was just like, you know what? I'm going to go in there anyway. I'm going to shine my light. I'm going to get done what I need to get done, and I'm going to get out. So as I walked in, welcome in Georgia, welcome in Canada, welcome in France. As I walked in, there was something that was handed to me that I actually needed, and I was very grateful, and it was something I could put on my key fob. And I said, would you happen to have a hole puncher to punch a hole in it? And the person said, in not so many words, you know, we're not here to serve you, or whatever. And I thought to myself, I am vibing so high that I'm going to let this slide, right? And so as I was preparing to go into another section, another lady that worked there, very kind, she said, actually, we do have a hole puncher. Let me get it for you. And all I said to the woman is, thank you for being kind. That was it. Thank you for being kind. Thank you for displaying kindness. And the other person that was having a bad day or whatever, she said, oh, Andrea, I'm kind all the time. Don't even pretend like I'm not. First of all, my name is Andrea. Second of all, you have to remember I'm a customer of this establishment. And thirdly, I realized in that moment that she was putting words in my mouth that she was feeling about herself in that moment. So I took an opportunity to look at her, and I said, hey, I'm a healer. I'm in my 40s. This is a young girl. I said, I don't know what kind of energy or what you're going through, but I don't deserve this. And, you know, the last time I had an incident like this, like face to face with someone, we're talking maybe 9-10 years. So this isn't something that happens to me often. But I think as women, and I think if you're a fairly attractive woman, if you're articulate, I think you can deal with this kind of thing quite often. And so as I said something and I expressed, you know, here's the facts, here's what you're doing, please don't turn it around on me. I felt a relief. I went and got in it was actually something I had to do for like 15 minutes in another part of the facility. And then I came back out and I said, you know what? Actually, I don't feel comfortable being here. Just give me the owner's number. And I left. And in that moment, of course, she tried to apologize, ask if I wanted to talk about it. And by that time I was done. So what I want to express to all of you today, and I can't say where it was at or anything, what I want to express to all of you today is there is a way to handle problems and issues that come up in life in a responsible, integral way, and a way that is childish, immature, and low vibrational. But one thing I want to remind all of you is to not allow other people's negative energy to affect you and bring you down. And this has been a life lesson for me. I am very porous like a sponge, Pisces Sun, Scorpio Moon, Scorpio Rising, Pisces Venus. I've got Cancer throughout my chart. I have a lot of water in my chart. So, you know, if you know anything about astrology, you know Pisces is the intuitive of the zodiac. They can feel the room immediately upon walking in. So immediately upon walking in, I knew her energy was off that day. I can see it before I even walk into the door. It's part of being an intuitive. And, you know, I didn't have a crystal in my hand or anything like that to be like, whoa, get away, Satan. But I knew this person's energy off. This person sees something within me that they don't like, either that they feel they lack or that they feel threatened by, and therefore they're projecting on me. And when you're in close proximity to someone like that and you're dealing with an issue like that, some of you deal with that online, I've dealt with that as well, but this was in close proximity to someone. Oftentimes you can start to think, okay, maybe I did something wrong. But yesterday, I was 100% certain I did nothing wrong. And in fact, I think the other employees there were also certain, because the one lady was very kind. She went and got a hole puncher. I almost felt like other people wanted to apologize on behalf of this person. This person was out of line. And so when someone is out of alignment to us, when someone projects negativity onto us, instead of saying something triggering to them like, hey, are you having a bad day? Are you this? Are you that? Try to approach it from a place of unconditional love, first and foremost. Secondly, saying head on what you see. So I addressed it. Let me open the window real quick. Hang on, you guys. Hang on. So secondly, approaching it from a place of, this is what I'm seeing you're doing. And this is what I'm meeting you with the mirror of what you're doing. I'm not going to meet you with the attitude. I'm not going to meet you with the anger. I'm not going to meet you with the cruelty, but I'm going to say that my protective, energetic boundary, my healthy boundary is up, and you're going to get this back, right? Never allow mistreatment of yourself or those you care about. Never. Under any circumstances, never allow that. You know, I can remember being super, super young, working in a shopping mall, and my sisters both worked in the same shopping mall. One worked in cosmetics, my other sister worked in a shoe store, and I worked in a men's clothing store. And I remember hearing someone say something bad about my family member one time. And I remember immediately calling that person out. And I think I was 16 years old. Like, I am very, very protective over my family's energy, over my friends' energy, over my own energy. It's almost like if you live in a neighborhood, you wouldn't allow your neighbor's house to get broken into. If you saw that, you would call the police. You would do something about it, right? That's how you need to be. You need to be a vigilant protector over your own energy and your own vibrational frequency. And the reason you need to be that way is because no one else will be that way for you. We are living in a time where things are uncertain in the world and everybody's on edge, right? A lot of people have issues where they don't know who's going to be, you know, in office, and they're stressed about that, and they're arguing with people about that. People feel insecure about their finances, and they will project that onto you. None of that is your business or your responsibility to take on. You are responsible for numero uno. If you have children, you're responsible for them. If you have pets, you're responsible for them. But no one else's energy should be able to be allowed in your auric field. Before I walk into anywhere, and I mean anywhere, before I even come online with you, I go through a practice of protecting my energy, a practice that goes far beyond saging my house or saging my computers or saging myself, a practice of meditation and a practice of prayer. And what I'm telling all of you to do is to be more mindful. So how I handled that was very mature. I took an immature situation and I made it mature in a nanosecond. When I walked out of, I'll just say there was a red light bed in the place and I was using a red light bed. When I walked out of there, I said, you know what, I'm not going to use the rest of the facility today because I feel uncomfortable. I feel unsafe to be here. I don't feel good to be here. And in that moment, there was, well, would you like to talk about it? No, I would not. I'm not a 12-year-old. I would not like to go in an office and talk about why you can't control your temper and why you felt the need to be rude to me. So in that very moment, I took an immature situation and matured it up like that. It's the same thing if something's being done to you online or something. You know, when I was targeted online, I took a very immature situation. I took it to court. I don't mess around when it comes to my energy, my business, my frequency, nor should you. So I wanted to share this with you, and I want to go into a practice that all of you can use in order to center yourself back to the type of energetic field that you belong in, right? So whenever we feel, attacked, and we feel like someone has really come at us in a negative way, we can tend to do one of two things. We can tend to either feel like, oh, maybe I did something wrong, right? If you know you're in the right, stand in the right. Be a little righteous. It's okay. I give you permission. Give yourself permission. God gives you permission. If you know you're in the right about something, stand in that sovereign power. So we can tend to think that maybe we did something wrong or we're in the wrong. It's kind of like the black sheep of the family. If you make the black sheep of the family think they're the black sheep long enough, they eventually become the black sheep, right? Also, another thing we can do is we can start to carry that person's negative energy with us throughout the day. Another thing you want to do is drop that right there. I left that person's negative energy in that facility. I'm like, I'm leaving. Keep your negative energy and keep it far, far away from me, honey. It doesn't belong to me. It is your divine birthright to have peace. I'm going to say that again. It is your divine birthright to have peace. If people cause you problems, either like yesterday inside of a place, online, in your business, in your personal life, hand that shit back to them immediately. Don't know what you're going through in your life, but here it is wrapped in a bow of unconditional love, and you take that back because it's not going to affect me. Don't know what you're going with, but keep your energy over there because it's not going to affect me. Don't know if you're not feeling well, but keep that away from my energy because it's not going to come into this big golden filled light bubble that I'm in. I am very, very kind, loving, peaceful. I'm a Pisces, for God's sake. My gene key code, like I said, is that of unconditional love, if all of you are familiar with gene keys. But I also have a lot of Libra and Scorpio in my chart. Libra is scales of karmic justice, balance, fairness. And Scorpio is, we all know what Scorpios are about. So as a healed human, I do not allow other people to project their BS on me. And this started really in 2020 when I started really stepping into my power of being like, you know what? Leave it over there, sister. Leave it over there, brother. And there's a difference when, say, you have a friend that's, consulting with you, talking to you because they're going through a rough time. That's one thing. If you're friends with someone, if it's a family member, someone's going through an illness, if someone's going through depression, if someone's going through a rough time and they want to share it with you, that's one thing. But when someone that you do not know, or when you're a customer or a client, when someone brings that negativity towards you, you better put up that healthy, energetic boundary saying, you know what? Don't step further. Do not come near my bubble. So I want to share with you something that I like to do when I feel that my energy has been violated in any way or impacted or hindered in any way. I take 2 crystals, 1 in each hand. I point one towards me. I point one away. This alone will balance your energy. If you sit with 2 crystals, try to do the lighter crystals, not like the dark smoky quartz, which is an excellent protective stone. I feel like I need to get this made into a necklace. This is citrine, by the way. You guys always ask what that is around my neck. One away from you, one towards you, and just sit in peace. Think about the last time you were in a really peaceful state, whether it was this morning, eating your breakfast, whether it was when you were sitting on a beach on vacation, whether it was when you were playing with your dog or petting your cat, whether it was when you were with a small child. Just think of that peaceful state of being and take yourself back to that energetic state. We all have a right to be in peace. We all have a right, it's our sovereign birthright to live a life of peace. It is our sovereign birthright to flow in an energetic state of peace. It is not your fault if someone else is having a bad day. It is not your fault if someone else is jealous or envious of you. It is not your fault. Just get rid of all of that. It is not your fault if someone is projecting their inner fear or their inner nastiness upon you. You have a sovereign birthright of walking this earth in a peaceful state. It is not your fault that you have more money than someone. It is not your fault that you are maybe more attractive than someone perceives themselves. None of this is your issue. It's not your fault if someone else is stuck. It is not your fault if someone else feels stagnant along their journey in work and money and life and love. You have a sovereign birthright to walk this earth in peace. And I just wanted to remind you that I think I just slipped into my own little I just went into my own little world there, you guys, but I wanted to remind you of this. It is your sovereign birthright to live a life of peace. Now, yes, things are going to happen, right? We live in a crazy world, but it is your sovereign birthright to walk in peace. You owe no one nothing. Whatever someone else's perception of you is, that is their shit. Hand it back to them. I love you. Thanks for letting me share. So I'm going to go on Instagram. I'm about to upload a healing for you. So Raw Chef Andrea on Instagram, Andrea Lee, 𝐿𝐸𝐼GH on TikTok and on Facebook. Go follow me on Facebook, Andrea Lee, 𝐿𝐸𝐼GH. And there's 3 places that I would love for you to subscribe. So AndreaCox.com for my free newsletter. We've got 70,000 of you on there. Andrea Cox TV on YouTube and The Detox Intuitive on YouTube. Also, we started the Detox Intuitive Patreon, so I would love to have you over there. You can also subscribe on, I think, TikTok, and you can subscribe on Facebook, and you can subscribe on Instagram. That is always helpful. I love each and every one of you. Lots of new things that I'm working on with my lovely assistant. So look forward to that and talk to you soon. Be well. Bye.